Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Celebrate Southern Africa, to our virtual African market, or VAM. I quite like that. I like those little acronyms. Tonight, I am chatting to the really lovely Claire, who's up further north from me, because I'm in Somerset, of ZUZA Trading. And I love to hear about the name. Tell us about the name of ZUZA Trading. What does it mean?
So it's an African word. Evening, everybody. It's a Zulu word which means to help or obtain, and that was kind of the ethos of how I started the business in 2014, was to help and obtain some of our crafters out in South Africa.
That's fantastic. I just love it when we use African words, and then African words become the story of the product and the journey. So you wanted to help. How did your business then start to help? What did you want to achieve with the helping element of your business?
So I think it was a two-pronged approach. Obviously, originally from Durban, I was very passionate about, kind of helping the crafters we had out there. And I think I often get a lot of people, in the guest house that I run up here in the Lake District, looking at the Christmas decorations, saying, "Oh, those are beautiful. Where can we get this? Where can we get that?" So the idea sort of sparked that I would maybe try and bring in some Christmas decorations and kind of escape the gloomy winter and go down and do some Christmas markets all around the country, visiting friends when we were less busy. So that was the sort of main purpose, in trying and put something back to all these talented crafters and give them an international platform. But for me as well, it was a very personal message. It was also about trying to bring the spark back to Christmas for me. I sadly lost my father in 1999. He was only 58, and he took his own life. And for me, Christmas was a really big thing in our family. He would dress up as Father Christmas, and sorry to those kids, he was one of Santa's helpers. And so for me, that sadly having lost him, I just felt like I'd lost some spark. And this for me was about just trying to give something back. So it was both helping the crafters and then helping me to kind of face that difficult time of the year again with a new meaning.
Yeah, that really is a lovely way, because not only are you reminding yourself of your African Christmas with your family and with your father, but also you are making a difference to people's lives. So tell me about, you mentioned about the Lake District, and you've moved there when did you move there? Recently, or a few years ago?
I moved to the Lake District in 2010. Having come to the UK in 1999, I have to be very clear when people ask me. I spent 10 years up in Edinburgh, so 10 years in Scotland and then 10 years down here in the Lake District, and bought a guest house, and I've run that now for 10 years, which is an amazing part of the country. Had a few challenges this year, but it's we're just at the top end of the Lake District, in between Cockermouth and Keswick, and right overlooking the lake. So beautiful. When we're not busy, we spend the time swimming in the lake. And yes, I was in today. It was 8 degrees.
You were in the lake today? Yeah. You're a crazy woman.
Yeah,
that must make you feel really alive. That's one way to know that you're alive, when you feel that.
It does. It really gets you tingling. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know if I'm a bit of, not the biggest fan of swimming where I can't see the bottom. Not someone's bottom, the bottom of the water.
You try not to think about what's in the water. When we see the fishermen there, I just say to them, "Oh, you should not bother coming here. There's no fish in this lake," And they're like, "We pay for our permit, but the swimmers don't want to think about any fish in the lake. We just we make a lot of noise, and we make sure we chase the fish away." But yeah, it's very, very.
That sounds so much.
Yeah. And there's been such a huge increase.
That sounds great fun.
People doing the wild swimming, and just using it for mental health reasons, well-being, and there's a group of us that get together socially and swim, and obviously in the moment with all the COVID restrictions within our little bubbles. But yeah, it's great. I love it.
That sounds great. Maybe I should give it a go. Maybe I'll come and visit you and swim in the lake.
Recommended.
So now tell us, so you've got fantastic products, and that's what we're here to talk about. Let's see some of your top selling products and why you love them and how they're made and where they come from.
Okay, so obviously, as I say, the business started off with Christmas decorations, and that's the fundamentals. It's something every year everybody wants to buy a new Christmas decoration. We sell them in little packs. This year we've gone with a sort of a nice little theme, and we've got the rainbow ribbon. But these are sort of very, very. If you're from KwaZulu Natal, you'll recognise the beadwork, and we sell them in a little pack of 3 for a tenner, which includes postage. So that's great. We've got those in various different varieties, and they sell. They just they're very popular, and there have been some funny stories. I remember when we first started off, 6 years ago, it was trying to get the reindeer right and trying to get the snowmen right. And I remember this particular group of crafters I use, which are based in Durban, he would call me up and he'd say, Miss Claire, we can't get the snowman right. Maybe I should come to England and look at a snowman. And after I always send you a picture. It's okay, So, so he's very creative. So the wire work is very popular. And it brings a little bit of Africa back to so many people. We do Christmas trees. Recently, this year was a new product here. I'm just going to show you. This is the baobab tree, which is kind of a different take on the Christmas tree, and those have been quite popular.
Oh, that's
you put a little tea light underneath, so those are quite that's quite nice and different. It's not just for Christmas. So lots of different Christmas decorations. I'm just seeing what else I've got here. Oh, the little standing reindeer, he's also quite popular, So those have sort of been our standard range. We've expanded and we've done a lot of home decor. You just got to, I think what's been challenging as well is just trying to also explain to the crafters about the UK market. So like we did a whole range of telephone wire baskets and coasters, and trying to get them from going, instead of going from 6 colors just down to 2, because like a black and white or silver and gray was better than a whole range. So those kind of things have been really interesting, and it's kind of helping to sort of like just explain what the UK market wants. And I think what I've found over the last 2 to 3 years is there's been a big focus on the recycled product range, and that's been really something that we've zoned in on. And one of the bigger products that we've done, I mean, we've got a whole range of the products up here. I haven't actually got them to hand. Just if you give me a minute, hold on. I'm just going to pop up. This is a product that's made in I've got my imagine. Made in the Cape, and it's all made from recycled plastic. This is called a click and click. And that's what it is. You just use it as a gift box.
Oh, I love that. How lovely.
So I mean, it started off with just this range, and now it's expanded. They do this. This is a group of ladies in the Cape Town, a lot of them from Kalelisha, that have had various different issues in their life, and they've expanded the product, and now they do various ones where this is with a zip, and this is a particular one. It's got lactose, and this one's got a protein on. I think if you can see. And when I'm traveling, I'll put my
nice, gorgeous
makeup brushes, or I've got one here. I do some, when I get a free minute, I do some colouring in, and I've got some pencils in there for some crayons and things like that. So those are quite popular, and these have been really popular in a lot of the fair trade shops that we supply in and around the UK and across on the continent. But one of the products that we have been particularly excited about is a little product called the Keep It, and very topical at the moment. Again, it's that's what it looks like. Okay, and this is what it's made from. The bottom of 2 plastic.
Wow, that's gorgeous. How clever.
So this is mine. I have mine in my bag the whole time. And how is this? There it is. I've got my headphone and my charger, and very appropriate at this time of the year, my mask. How perfect.
Fantastic. So you can keep it in one place
keep it in one place, and you know, it's in your bag. How many times do you have your charger in your handbag and it gets broken? So I mean, and really, $4.99. Ideal. Everybody can have their own different color in the family, you know, and these have been really quite popular. What we did do is we did so I'll maybe come back in a little bit and talk to you a little bit more about what we did with this. We saw a need and did a pilot project here in the UK and with some schools, and that kind of led to us setting up a social enterprise. So maybe come back and talk to you a little bit more about that. Lots of other things, bigger things that we do.
Let's talk about that for sure. Once you cover
this.
Oh wow. Oh,
I mean, a lot of people will know this as the Zulu pearl, or the Infamangi bead. So you know, a lot of people they use this traditionally as the teething bead, but we've got them in the elephant and in the lovely rhino. So he's quite popular as well. He's a nice big chunky piece. And then I think probably I was out in South Africa maybe about 2 years ago, and I was actually due to see a candle man in the Cape, and he didn't want to see me. He didn't want to travel 200 kilometers and whatever. And it just so happened that I happened to get a link, and I met up with the people from the that are the producers of Mandela Tea. So I think you've got some, Dawn, have you? Your Mandela Tea? Yep. So that's been
I love it.
Yeah,
I think this is the
that's the organic honeybush and buku.
Pronounce that.
Yeah.
Buku.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I mean,
it is so nice, and I have this at night. I love.
Yeah, I think with them all being organic and caffeine free, you know, toxin free, you know, they really have got a lot of health benefits. I'm not going to sit here and tell you every single thing. They're on our website, and you know, a lot of them help with sleep, and you know, there's the red bush or the rooibos that everybody has. My favorite is the rooibos and the honey bush, because it's kind of like it's a lot of people have red bush and then or rooibos and they put the honey in it, but that one kind of gives you the sweetness with it, and it's just delicious. Those are my two favorites. And I think because they're a slight blend, they're the ones that are more popular, and we tend to stock more of those than we do with the standard red bush or rooibos. Is a lot of people can get that anywhere, but that with the actual tin and it's a lovely gift, and we sell a lot of that around this time of the year as well. People want to give something, so yeah, that's a sort of just a very, very rush through on the product range. I think people have become in the UK much more aware about the recycle range, and are absolutely blown away when you explain to them what we take for granted. You know, 30 years ago, people were collecting waste in South Africa, and you know, just starting to do stuff, and now it just seems to be becoming the trendy in thing here, but we've been doing it for so long in South Africa. Last year I was in Cape Town visiting the project, and we went around and we were visiting, and we were seeing some guys that were walking around and just filling up trolleys with rubbish, and I was taking some photographs because I wanted to bring them back for the school project we were doing. And the chaps were like really blown away, and somebody had told me, you know, don't try and take money or try and pay them. I had gone at the airport and bought some. There are other brands available, but some Manchester United caps, and they were quite willing to take a cap for a photograph. So that was a really good exchange bartering system.
Oh wow! Everyone knows Manchester United wherever you are in the world.
That's it, yeah.
So tell me about the social enterprise you mentioned. So you're going into schools, and what's the purpose of that, and what are you doing with it?
So what it was is we hooked up with a couple of the local schools, and we did a pilot project with 11 schools. And we're going in there with junior schools, and it was really just about educating about recycling, plastic waste, what was going into the ocean. And we'd go in and give them a talk, and talk to them about what happens to plastic. I mean, there's a lot of, a lot of people had this perception that everything was going to landfill. You know, particularly we had the stats on what happened here in Cumbria and what we would do with our landfill, and it's very different around the country. You know, there's a lot of people that think everything goes to landfill. It's not. There is some stuff that's, you know, chipped down, and there's a really big company in Liverpool that do a lot of really good things, and I've been working with them on looking at some new products and some new materials that we could use. So we started out with the schools. We got a lot of the headmistresses were very keen and signed up to the program, and it was called the ZUZA Recycling Heroes. And what they did is they actually collected their plastic bottles at home and they brought them into school. Yeah, and we did that over a term, I think, and we got something like 4,500 plastic bottles which we collected and then chipped down here with the intention that we would make these here and brand these in the UK with the school's names on, and then they would sell them at their school fairs and things like that. Phenomenal response. We were blown away with how many schools wanted to get involved and wanted to sort of be part of this project. And from that point, we then set up a social enterprise called ZUZArecycling, CIC, Community Interest Group. And yeah, we've just, you know, we really kicked off this year with quite a lot of schools that were going to come on board and do the talks and go around, but there's just this little pandemic that kind of
little issue.
Yeah.
That's so exciting though. So your plans then are to grow that and ZUZA Trading, so that you can you kind of bring them together? You do bring them together, really.
Yeah.
Come together, don't they?
Excuse me. So that's the intention, is to bring them two together. I mean, we do have various different areas. I did some work with Lancaster University and Cumbria University with final year students around research into recycled products, which was really interesting about what people's perceptions were. And then I had a PhD student that was working with them as an intern, and she was going into businesses. So we were going around some forestry businesses, and there was a flower products, and they wanted to take what waste they had and then see what we could make into it. So we then had some design students that were looking at stuff and seeing what we could do with those and kind of trying to develop some products. So there is a big appetite then for businesses that want to be seen to be putting something back into either the community or just some of them were events that we were taking to sort of community groups where there were adults with learning difficulties, that they were then doing some of the sorting and doing some of the cutting. So there was just that sort of sense of making people aware that everybody can make a bit of a difference, you know what I'm saying? And that was what was quite refreshing.
And we have to make sense as well, you know, like there's things around the home that we can use to make a difference, not only to the landfill, but make useful things that we can. And also then it's about bringing out the creativity and the design and all of that stuff. So it really encompasses so many different elements, which is absolutely brilliant. And
so I think that's really something I'm quite passionate about. And I think you've got to, you know, I think I was doing a pitch at one of these sort of events, and I probably came across, I said, oh, if you cut me in half, it'll just say recycling inside of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quite sure they've got the sense of humor, but there you go. It's I think it's in our blood. I think we're just, you know, we're quite used to doing that recycling, and you know, I think we're getting better at it here. But I go away, you know, if I go back to South Africa, and I'm very inspired by the people that have so little and what they can take and make with the waste products. And it's not just, you know, the old-fashioned tin can, Coke cans and Fanta cans that they make into toys. There's some really, really phenomenal stuff now. You know, in some of these projects that we're working with, they've got a lot of big businesses behind them that are, you know, helping them to develop some of these sustainable products going forward.
I think there's an opportunity not only for us to contribute by buying products that are ethically sourced, but also products that are recycled, because we're helping in so many different ways. We're helping the community that makes them, we're helping the planet, you know, we're supporting South African business, you know, all of that stuff. I think it ticks a lot of boxes for so many of us. So where can people find about where they can buy your product? And tell us a little bit about your guest house.
So at the moment we have a we have a little shop going on here, so you know things are pretty much being packaged here at the guest house, and we do have an online shop and also a Facebook page where people can buy stuff and message us from there. Yeah, unfortunately this time of the year we would normally be going out and doing Christmas fairs, and a lot of the fair trade shops that we support would be selling our products, but it's just been a crazy year. So you know, we are still packaging and posting products. There is only so many times you can go into the post office in one day, but the girls are great locally in the little post office. And yeah, you know, so we've got a website which is www.ZUZArecycling.co.uk, or a Facebook page, or failing that, just you know, drop us an email. I'm sure it'll come up on Dawn's lovely little links. So yeah, you know, it's something I'm quite passionate about. At the moment I feel very torn because I've got a ZUZA hat, and then I've got a guest house hat. At the moment we've been lucky enough that I saw an opportunity earlier in lockdown, and we got assessed as key workers, so we can have key workers coming in to stay with us. So quite a lot of NHS workers, various different things in the forestry and pipelines and things like that locally. So that's helped. But you know, it's going to be a tough winter, and any little keepers we can sell will help us put oil on the tank, you know.
Absolutely.
You know,
tell us the name of your guest house, where people can find out about booking a place if their lockdown's lifted.
Yeah, so the guest house is called Ouse Bridge House. We had some amazing, I mean, I remember when the lockdown was lifted in the summer, we had a lot of people that had, a lot of South Africans actually, that were through some of the wonderful chapters that you sort of work with, Dawn, and they had either had I know France closed down, and Spain, and various different things. So people coming away that had never probably gone north of Watford, and came up to the Lake District and had some amazing times and breaks. And I don't know, we've had some South Africans that were getting married and they couldn't go away on their honeymoon, so they came here, and they had just that little bit of Sappho friendly face or nagging voice. I'm not sure how they put it, but yeah, so it's Ouse Bridge. We're kind of Penrith is the nearest sort of like big city, if you want to call it that. It's a farming town, and there's a train station there. You can get the train from London to Penrith, 3 hours on the Foss train, and either hire a car in Penrith, or the bus just brings you straight here. But it's yeah, it's pretty rural. We've got a lovely big car park. Obviously it's dark, so I can't show you now. We look over the lake, so you can go swimming, or I've got a couple of stand-up paddle boards if you want to give yourself a try at stand-up paddle boarding. And there's just some walks. There's we've got Keswick and Cockermouth are the two little villages nearby. And there's just space, you know. There is space where you can go, and you're not in a busy park with hundreds and hundreds of people. So I think that's quite refreshing, that people can get out.
I think, but you're also pet friendly, aren't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, great. So people can bring hamsters and chickens. Hamsters and chickens they can bring as well.
Hamsters and chickens they can bring as well. Yeah. I did have somebody bring a cat once. Have you ever heard anybody take a cat on holiday? Yeah, they did. They brought a cat.
Wow.
So yeah. We've got all sorts. We have got 3 dog-friendly rooms, and then I know there are people that have got dog allergies, so if you tell us, we don't let you go in a dog-friendly room and things like that. But
yeah,
the amount of people that come to the Lake District and bring their dog, and they don't want to, you know, leave it in the car or put it in kennels. So, you know, the dogs, they get a sausage and a treat bag. And sometimes I think the guests think we look after the dogs better than the people. But not going to comment on that. The dogs just, it's wonderful because when they see you after you've given them that sausage in the morning, every time they see you, they give you the biggest grin in the morning. So, yeah.
Just love chatting to you. And I just hope that people have thought about some really good stocking filler ideas and decorate their Christmas trees with Africa. Like that would just be perfect. I think that would
Wonderful.
be lovely.
That would be lovely.
But I will post the link for how to get hold of Claire. So thank you so much, Claire. Thank you so much. It's been lovely to chat.
Okay. Thanks, Dawn. Bye. Keep safe.